Hello and welcome. Today's video is going to be about Echo Dot and how to turn on your PC with voice commands using one of these modules here, the Node MCU or the 8266. So I show a couple of different ways of doing it here. My original way was with this guy here with the 8266. The problem with this module here was it's a 5 volt, so I had to solder two connections right off here for the USB for the 5 volts to power the relay. So I'm not going to be showing this way because in my videos I like to show ways where you don't need to solder. If you know how to solder, you can make something like that if you want to. So if your motherboard supports something like Wake-on-LAN, you can actually just use this module here. You just have to order the programming adapter, the 8266, program it with my code, and all you need is this guy. This guy, you do need to solder a connection from there to actually program it. Even though this is called a programming adapter, they still left out the one connection. However, in a video later on, I'll show you how you can just use cables like this and just strip back two wires and you can be able to program it. So this is possible. So I'll show you that right now. So if you just plug this guy anywhere in your house, or if your motherboard actually supports power through the USB when the computer's off, like most of them do now, you can just plug this into the back of the computer. The extra bonus of that is I wrote extra code so you can control Kodi, VLC, and YouTube to pause the video and turn up and down your volume through your Echo Dot. I just threw that in for fun. I had to learn another program, but yeah. Alright, so I'm going to plug this guy in like this. Wait a couple of seconds for it to negotiate. And then I should be able to use my voice command to turn on this computer. Alexa, turn on PC.
Okay.
And as you can see, it turned on right now. So I just have to pause it so I can shut this off. Right, so that's really simple with that. And same with this guy here. You can just plug this into the adapter, plug it right into your computer, and this module would act the same as this one, just turn it on your computer. So you wouldn't get no commands for pausing videos and stuff like that, but still pretty easy to do it that way. So if your motherboard doesn't support Wake-on-LAN, my other alternative one, the one I use, is something like this with a relay. And then on your motherboard, you have to find your power pin for your switch. And my guy would be here. And there, like that. So again, it doesn't have to be plugged into the computer if you don't want it to. You can plug it into a separate adapter, even like a wall adapter. Something like this. However, this computer does support it, so maybe I'll just show that quickly. Right, so just give it a second to negotiate. And it should be ready already. So all I have to say now is, Alexa, turn on PC.
Okay.
There you go. The thing with this guy here is you have to do an extra step in Windows and you have to turn off what to do with the power button. Otherwise, you might accidentally shut off your computer while you're doing something. So if this is something that interests you, this project, keep watching. I'm going to show a complete step-by-step how to do it, programming the modules, everything. All right, so I'm going to get into it. All right, so the first thing we got to do is decide which one you guys actually want to use. So the one option is the one with the relay, and it's simple. You just get the relay, get the module, program it, plug this into the power switch on your motherboard, and you're all set to go. The alternative way is using Wake-on-LAN. I can't use Wake-on-LAN on my computer because my wireless is on a separate router and totally away from my main network. So I can't use this, but it is actually really clean. And if your wireless is on your LAN, so if you have a LAN plugged into your PC, but also have wireless Wi-Fi, you can use something like this. So I think I'll show you guys how to test to see if you have Wake-on-LAN first with your phone. So maybe you don't even want to use any of this and just use your phone to turn on your computer instead. So I'll just show you the steps for this first, just so you guys can find out if you actually have the option for Wake-on-LAN. You have to Google how to enable Wake-on-LAN on your motherboard. Some of them are kind of tricky to get enabled. On this computer and on another one I had, there's actually no option in the BIOS at all. So I got fed up and I just plugged it in, tried it, and it worked. So it's just enabled by default with absolutely no options to turn it on or off. So your motherboard might be like that too. So you can just try it with the phone. If it turns on, away you go. Okay, so in Windows, you're going to want to get your MAC address for your computer. So go to your network, go to Open Network and Sharing. Now this is a different computer. So I'm in a virtual machine right now. So the IP I'm going to be punching into the phone is actually going to be different, but I'm just showing you where to find the information you need. All right, go to Change Adapter Settings. Right click on your Ethernet, go to Status, go to Details. So what you're after here is definitely the MAC address. The module here only needs the MAC address and this guy here. But that's already written in the code. So technically all you need is the MAC address. For your phone, you need the MAC address and your IP address of your router, kind of. So here it's 192.168.122.135, and that's the address of this guy here. But what you're after is the gateway IP, and that's 192.168.122.2. But really on this computer here that I'm going to be using, it's 192.168.1.1, and that would be my router IP address. All right, back onto the phone now. Just make sure you've written down your physical address, or just have it on. Go to the Play Store. Search for WOL. Alright, so the one I installed was this guy here, WOL on Wake-on-LAN by BitClog or something like that. Don't have my glasses on so I can't read it. So after that's installed, click on this guy here. Make sure your phone's connected to your wireless network. So if you don't know your default IP address for your router, the easiest thing to do with this app at least is go to this guy here and do a network scan. All we're really after is the first 3 digits of the IP address. So here it found my router, so that's the one I need, 192.168.1.1. So we can stop the scan. If your PC actually shows up in this, because the one I'm using in this video, it's not connected to a monitor, doesn't have a hard drive, doesn't have Windows. It's just for showing you guys. So it might actually, in that search, actually might find your PC. If it does, you can just click on that to simplify it. But I'm just assuming it, I'm just going to show you guys kind of like the longer way of doing it, I guess. So click on this plus guy. So the computer name, you can name it anything you want. So I'm going to call it test. Next. So the MAC address is the one that you got off Windows. So the one I showed you was in a virtual machine, so that's really not the MAC address of that computer there in the video. So my MAC address is this. I'm just going to fast forward it a little bit here. Okay, so that's my MAC address. So I'm going to click next. Okay, underneath broadcasting address, it would be 192.168.1.255, or you can just click on this little wand guy and it types it in for you. So I got 192.168.1.255, and I'm going to click save. All right, so now showing the computer now and the phone, hopefully it's in view. We can see if this phone can turn on that computer just by clicking on this guy here. If you can see it turned on, so it works. So that means you can get away with just buying a module like this to turn on your computer, and you don't need the relay. All right, here's some examples of the modules you can get. There's this guy here that actually comes with the programming adapter, but you still have to get the extra cables. or you can get one like this guy here where you don't need the programming cable. You just simply plug this into the computer and away you go. And then there's also this guy here that has the relay built on. The problem with this one here is you still have to get the programming adapter to be able to program the ESP8266. The relays, I would suggest getting this guy here. And if you need help hooking it up, I can show you. There's just one pin for the switch that you would have to connect that's different. The problem here is this is a 5-volt one, so you would need to solder. Otherwise, yeah, I would stick with the 3-volt one instead. And just to show you that, it's basically just this pin here. So you add your 3-volt here in your ground, and then whatever pin I show you on the Arduino later on in the video, this is where you would attach it to trigger the relay. That's actually pretty simple. And then the cables, I'd suggest getting these if you can't solder. I would get one of these. It comes with like female to female, male to male, and then male to female. And that's the one you would actually need to program. So it comes with a set of 40 of each of them. And yeah. Okay, so I just want to show you that. You don't have to get it from these guys here. So you can find them on eBay or wherever else, Amazon. The problem with Amazon is the shipping usually comes from China anyway, so you're better just to get it from the source like eBay or something anyways. Okay, so I'll jump on to the next step now. And that's going to be Synric, and that's what's going to communicate with your Echo Dot. So we're just going to make an account for that now. So go to www.synric.com. Once you're there, click on the register. It doesn't even send you an activation email in your email. So click, then just simply make an account. So mine, I'll just call it Bangs, email I use in my videos. And then click the submit button. So once you have your account, just log into it if it didn't auto do it for you. Okay, so the important thing here is your API key. And yeah, so we're going to leave this here for now, and we're going to jump to the Amazon one now. So log on to your Amazon account with the like that. If yours is .com, type .com. Mine is just in Canada. Go to Skills and then search for Synric. So click on it and click Enable. So the account would be the one you just created. Oops. Yeah. And this is going to link it to that. So once it says it's successful, you can actually close it down. You don't have to run a discovery like this right now because there's nothing we added. So you can close down the Amazon because you're actually done with it. Now under here, you're going to want to create two things. So click on the add. And the first one will be, the friendly name will be, we'll call it Bangs PC. And the description is turning on my PC. The device type, it's important, it's a switch. Then click Save. Now we're going to add another one. This is if you want, you don't have to add this one. This is the one that controls your volume and pausing videos on your computer. So the friendly name is, we'll call it My Video because I already technically have one called just a video, so it might conflict. So you can call it video, you can call it whatever you want, but I'll call it My Video, and this is just basic media control, and really basic. It's pause, play, and volume. And under device type, it's TV. Click Save. You can always use my source too after to build on it. This is just basic. I was kind of in a rush to do it. And that's it for that. So now what you can actually do is tell your Echo Dot to scan for new devices, and we'll try that out now. Alexa, scan for new devices.
Starting discovery. This will take up to 20 seconds. If you haven't already, please enable the smart home skill for your smart device from the Alexa app. I found 2 new devices. Try saying, turn off Bang's PC.
Alright, so it found the Bang's PC. It also found this one, it just didn't say it. Okay, so the next step is going to be now programming. Okay, so in my description, you'll find 2 packages, a package complete and a package light. One comes with the Arduino IDE and the other one doesn't. This one should be more simple because I have all the libraries in the right folder already, or this one you just need to copy the folders to it. So anyways, right click on whichever one you've downloaded and say extract all, or if you have 7-zip, extract it to the folder. Alright, after it's extracted, go into the package folder. So again, the difference is this one comes with the IDE and the light one doesn't. In the light version, just go into this copy to libraries. Just right click and copy all these guys here. And then usually it's in Documents, Arduino, Library, and just paste them here. Alright, so if you got that programmer with the ESP8266 or the Node MCU, most likely you'll need the CH340 drivers or the 341s, they're the same thing, or they work for both. So go into that folder there, click Setup, and that'll install the USB to serial drivers. Alright, so go into the Arduino 1.82 Windows Cynric folder, or open up your Arduino IDE and click on this guy. So here just say no for now. Okay, so go back into my package folder and you'll find Arduino copy paste. So open up this guy, highlight all this, and then copy it. And you'll want to paste it. Go to File, Preferences. I've already done it. And then you'd want to paste it here. Then say OK. After you've done that, you can go to Tools. You can go to Board. And then go to Board Manager. And search for ESP8266. Then click on it. And then your install button will be where my remove button is. And it'll say version 2.5.0. Just choose install. After it's done, you can go to File. Go to Open. And then you'll want to go into the PC Power Keyboard folder. And depending on which version you want to install, I'm going to show the example with the Wake-on-LAN with the ESP8266. And then with the Node, I'll show the relay one. So go into this one if you have the ESP8266. And double click on this guy. Okay, so if you did get the Node MCU for just the Wake-on-LAN, go to Tools, go to Board, and then scroll down here, and you'll want to choose Node MCU 12E or the 12, whichever one you got. Most likely you got this one. And if you're using the ESP8266, the little one, you want to pick generic ESP8266 module. Okay, so the things you got to change here are the X's. So go back to Cynric, www.cynric.com, and log back into the account you had made. So the first thing we'll copy is your API key. So choose copy, or you can highlight it and copy and paste it. And we'll want to replace all these X's. We'll paste it there like that. Make sure you have no empty or no spaces on either side here. So the SID is for your router, the one you use for your phones and stuff to connect to your wireless, to your Wi-Fi. So just as an example, like D-Link, and then enter in your Wi-Fi password. So whatever, I like monkeys, I think I do. Okay. So the next thing is your MAC address. And again, I'll show you how to get to that. So right click on your computer down here for your network thing, this icon. Go to Open Network and Sharing Center. Change adapter settings. Then right click on this guy, go to Status, go to Details, and then look for your physical address. And it's right here. So the one in my video, I'm using a different board. So the one I'm going to be punching into the program is going to be different than this. And yours is going to be different as well. So just write down your MAC address somewhere. Or just keep that window open. So once you found it, you can punch it in. So I just left the 0x's, and that's the format it has to be. So it's 2 digits. So it's 0x. And then my next 2 digits of my MAC is 90. Then it's 2B. I'm just going to put cap locks on to make sure it's caps. Oops. 2B. 34. AB. C3. And 8C. And then under device 1, these X's here, go back to Signeric. And then we're going to want the one that turns on the PC. So that's the switch, not the TV. So copy this. This might actually copy the semicolons as well. Minimize this. Paste it here. Okay, it didn't. So just make sure there's no spaces on either side of these commas. It's all good. And then for this guy here, you don't really need to copy it. If you're going to edit my file here, then you might want to add it if you actually want to turn on and off things. But for now, you can just leave it as X's if you want. It's actually remarked anyway, so it's not even using it. Okay, so once that's done, the next step is making the cable for the ESP8266. So I'll show that now. Alright, for setting up these modules here, this one here, the Node MCU, you can just use a cable like this, plug it into your computer, and program it. Say if you got this one for Wake-on-LAN and you're not going to attach a relay to it. That's how you do that one. So this guy here, if you bought this one for Wake-on-LAN only, you're going to have to make a cable for it because, or if you know how to solder, you need to make a connection from that pad to that pad there. Because this programmer, or all of them, they forgot to add that wire for them. So I'm going to show you guys how to use these cables here so you can program it. And it's really basic. Okay, so you're going to want to use the cables like this, the ones with the male and the female on the other side. And you're going to want to go for pin to pin. So the way this gets plugged in is this way like this. So just remove it and keep it oriented the same way basically. So I'm going to attach my wires here. You can do one at a time to make it easier. But anyways, it's blue, purple, gray. So on this side I'm going to put blue. Purple, gray. So on this guy here, keeping the same way, it would go blue, purple, gray. So I'm going to put blue, purple, gray. So just make sure it's the same way. So on this side here, I'm going to put, we'll go green, yellow, orange. So when you get these cables, if you rip them off in fours, might be a little bit easier, or you can just do them individually. It's up to you. So the first one is going to be green, yellow, orange. So then on this module here, it would go, you hold it this way, go green, yellow, orange. So we're still left with 2. And for this guy here, I'm going to put a blue one there and a purple one on the other side. Blue, purple. So on this guy here, it'd go blue, purple. Like that. So again, just make sure the color codes are the same. So if you stretch it out, all the color codes should be in the same direction, just a straight through cable. So with the module facing this way, and these 4 here, on mine at least, if I can separate these wires, it goes green, yellow, orange, blue. So the second one here is my yellow, and the last one here is blue, which is ground, and this one is actually D0. And we're going to want to connect these 2 together. So what I did here was I just got lazy and I stripped the wires back just with a lighter, because it's just temporary. As soon as you're done programming it, you can remove this cable. So just make sure these 2 coppers are touching and just twist them together. So you can even cut the wires and do a better job than glue these together or whatever, so you have a permanent cable for it. But for now, this should be okay. I have to plug this into my computer, so I can't really show it in the video being programmed. So that'll be the next step, is me saying to plug this guy into the computer. Right, with your cable made, the one we just did was the ESP8266, so I'll just make sure my board is for this guy. And again, if you have the other board, pick whichever one you have. Okay, so plug in your ESP82 cable that you made into your computer. I'm in a virtual machine, so I'm just going to make sure it's actually connected. Okay, after that, you should just be able to push this upload button. Okay, once it's done programming, you can unplug it from your computer. So you have an option, you can just untwist those 2 wires just to test it out quickly, or you can just remove this whole adapter. I'm just going to remove everything. And then you can plug this guy into the programmer. Kind of bent a pin there. Okay, once it's plugged in, you can just test it quickly on your computer. So plug this back into your computer. Go to Tools. Go to Serial Monitor. And make sure it's at 115200 baud rate. Sometimes nothing will show up here because it takes you too long to plug it into your computer and to get to this part of it. So now you can test it. Alexa, turn on Bang's PC.
Okay.
Okay, so that's great. So that means it sent the Wake-on-LAN packet. And then if you're going to use it for media, you can test the 3 commands I made for that. Alexa, pause my video.
Okay.
Okay. Alexa, mute my video.
Okay.
Alexa, turn up volume by 30.
Okay.
Alexa, turn down volume by 40.
Okay.
Okay, so that's great. I'm going to show you guys how to use those later on in the video if you're going to use it, probably around the end of it. So now you can unplug this adapter from your computer. Right, so now you can push this into your computer. So you have an option here. You can either plug it into, right, just like the start of the video, you can either plug it into a guy like this or into a battery bank if you want. All right, so now you can plug this into your computer into any free port. Just, you might have to read your manual to see which USB ports are actually active when it's off. On mine, all of them are active, and also you need LAN. Alexa, turn on Bang's PC.
Okay.
And there you go, it worked. So with this way, you can still use your power button and everything should be good. Right, so now I'm going to jump on to another one. All right, we're going to jump onto the NOD MCU now and with the relay. So the first thing to do with this guy is actually just to program it. So you'll need a micro USB or whichever adapter it comes with. Plug this guy in and then plug this into your computer. But first we'll get into the programming first and then we'll jump right back onto this thing again. Alright, so go into my package folder and open up Arduino 1.82, go in here and open up this guy. Okay, go to File, go to Open. In my package, PC Power Keyboard. This time you're going to want to open up the relay one. Open this guy up. Alright, again we're going to need to change these X's. So the first thing we'll get out of the way is my API key. Go into synric.com and get your API key. Copy it. Okay, there I have a space at the end, so make sure you get rid of that. Then type in your SID. That's your Wi-Fi that your wireless connects to. So we'll just say Netgear. I like monkeys, maybe, I think I do. And just enter your own password for that. And then for device 1, you're going to want to enter this guy here. And that's for your PC switch, not the TV one. Paste. And then for this guy here, for my TV, you can add this guy here. You don't really need this one. In my other one, I commented it because it really doesn't need to use it. So you can add it if you want. And those are my two there. And that one is for TV control, for like pausing YouTube and Kodi and VLC and stuff. Alright, so once that's done, go to Tools, and then under Board Generic or whatever, or under Board, pick your the right board, the NOD MCU. This for me it works with 1.0. Right, so now you're going to want to plug in your Node MCU into your computer. I'm not sure, I don't think it's going to reach. I'm in a virtual machine, and I just want to make sure it's actually connected. And it is. It's on the right port. So now you can push the upload button right here. Okay, this one here you don't have to unplug from your computer. You can go right to Tools and we're just going to see if it works or not. Go to serial monitor, and then make sure your baud rate's set to 11.5200. So this is just going to be testing out to see if it works. The relay is not hooked up yet, so you should be able to say Alexa commands. Alexa, turn on Bang's PC.
Okay.
Alexa, pause my video.
Okay.
Alexa, mute my video.
Okay.
Alexa, turn volume down by 30.
Okay.
Alexa, turn volume up by 60.
Okay.
So sometimes you actually have to mute it first before the volume works up and down. But I'll show you guys that after we do the relay, and I'll show you how to control YouTube and stuff like that with that after this. All right, so now you can unplug this module here, and I'll show you the connections for the relay. So you're gonna need some wires here. So I'm using ones with female on one side and male on the other side. And you'll want to connect the red and gray, or whichever wires you use. We'll just do one at a time. So you got a 3 volt here and a ground. So I'm going to plug the 3 volt into here, and with that wire, oops, I'm going to attach it to on the board where it says VCC, and it's 3 volts only. Don't try it on a 5 volt. Next is ground, GND. So put that guy in there like that. And then plug ground into the board, into one of the pads that say G. And there's actually one right next to the 3 volt. Like that. Okay, so the next one is D4. And that's right there. And this guy plugs into the low switch on this relay here. Okay. So if you ended up getting the relay I showed you at the beginning of the video, this here means it's normally closed, and you want it on normally open. So you'd probably want to attach it on this pad, or this connection here, and this guy here. And then your switch wire for D4 would go in the in. Alright, so on your relay here, I connected it on the one that's normally closed. If you're not sure if it's normally closed, what you can do if you don't have a multimeter is just attach your 2 wires either on the first 2 or these 2, and then just plug it into your computer. If your computer turns on and then shuts off again in about 3 seconds or 4 seconds, that means you have it on the wrong one. So right now I should safely be able to plug this into my header on my motherboard, and it shouldn't turn on. So as you can see, the computer never turned on with that. So that means I have it on the right side. Right, so find your motherboard manual or look on Google for it and find your 2 pins for your power, or you can just follow the 2 wires. You can also strip the 2 wires coming off that go to this section here to your power, your 2 power pins, and just wire these guys into that so you can still use your power button. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add code into this, so the switch on the back of your computer, when you turn that off and then turn it back on, when you use the switch on the back of it, it'll click this just once just to turn on your computer. So this way you don't have to unplug it or nothing like that. Or I might just make another script or whatever, one saying toggle reset with power button. So find your 2 pins for your power. Mine are like that on this motherboard. and it's basically ready to go like this. So again, you can use a power brick or a power thing like this if your motherboard doesn't support USB power. So on this motherboard, it's not hooked up to the internet or nothing like that, so I'll just show you it works with a power brick. So I can plug this guy in like this. Just wait a couple of seconds for it to negotiate, and now I should be able to tell it to turn on. Alexa, turn on Bang's PC.
Okay.
Alright, so that's basically it for this video. I'm just going to show you guys how to use the media option I included in this. If you're interested in that, just keep watching, I guess. So with this guy plugged into your computer, into the back of the USB port, I'll just show you some options you have. Controlling YouTube and stuff like that. And it seems silly that you can just pause it and stuff like that, but I've actually already found it really super handy. Say if you're just away from your TV too long or something, and you can just yell to your Echo Dot to pause and resume your video and stuff. So I'm not having this plugged in right now. I'm just going to show you guys because this thing's plugged into my real computer right now. Okay, before you use your relay, and so you don't accidentally shut off your computer, I would suggest going to your power options. So go to your start button, and if you don't have control panel there, you can just type it here to search for it. Type control and then click on control panel. Have to go to small icons and then look for power options right there. And then right here, choose what the power button does. So click on this guy and make sure it's set to do nothing. This way you can't accidentally say it, and if it was set on shut down your PC, you might just shut down your computer out of the middle of nowhere. Right, so do nothing and then save changes. Alright, so I can minimize this stuff, don't need it. Actually, make sure this is closed for the next step. You're done with this too, actually. Alright, in my package you'll find a folder called Alexa Basic Media Control. Go into that. So I included the IDE, the full thing, so you can click on this and just install it. And this isn't really needed, I'm not sure why I'm including it, but just install this guy here. And then after it's installed, and if you don't want to install this, you can go into my example, and I've already made the exe file, so you can just double click on this guy. But I'll just show you quickly how to run this guy anyways. So after it's installed, it should create a link right here. So open this guy up, go to File, go to Open, go to my package, go into the Alexa Basic Media Control.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Go to Example, and you want to click on this example working. Right, after that's done, you just simply have to click on the Go, or if you want to build your own exe, click Build, and you can just edit my stuff. Like for example, YouTube doesn't really use, it uses a space, but really it's a K. So you can change the, this where it says send space, you can change that to K instead, if you're just going to use it for YouTube. So after that's done, just go to Tools and go to Go. And then pick the COM port your nod's on, or the other. You can also use this guy too for this. And then make sure it's 115200. Don't have to touch anything else here. I had learned this in a day, like maybe in about half an hour I made this program, so it's pretty crude, but at least it works. So you can work on it. Okay, so after that's on, you can minimize it if you want. And then just I'll show you a YouTube example. Alright, so this is the part of the video I have to edit out of YouTube because I uploaded it, and Kitchen Nightmares actually flagged me for using their video for like 5 seconds with a copyright thing. So anyways, I deleted it, and I'm just going to edit this guy in now. So I'm just going to use my own videos here. So I'll just click on this guy. Hello and welcome. Today's video is going to be about pause using video. your smartwatch with
Okay.
Alexa, resume video. Droid planner or tower,
Alexa, mute
and also
video.
something called Andro.
Okay.
Alexa, turn down volume by 45.
This guy here, because
Okay.
they do have a newer
Alexa,
one that's
turn up
260.
volume by 10.
The reason why I went with this watch is because
Alexa, turn
it
up
has,
volume by 30.
GPS built onto it. So in theory, we should have
Alexa,
been able to
pause
use
video.
follow me mode.
Okay.
Right, so that is it for this video, guys. It's long. I'm sorry it went like that. To me, I actually thought it was kind of silly at first using this, but I use my computer all the time, 24 hours basically. It's actually hooked up to my TV. So that's my setup. So maybe somebody else is set up the same way as me. And my computer's put away kind of, so I don't have access to the button. I have to move things to get to the computer. So this is actually why I made this project. It was just for myself. I just made this guy here. And yeah, so I just decided to share this with you guys. That's about it. Like and subscribe. And if you guys need help at all, just hit me up in the comments. All right, bye.